Good afternoon, Chip here with Hybrid and Electric Car Sales, coming to you from my back lot in beautiful Franklin, Tennessee. I'm going to take you along on a journey with us as we repair the battery in this 2014 Model S. This car was brought into us from Memphis. It's been sitting for 3 years. Now, the battery has a failed board in it, and we're going to take you through removing the battery. We're going to push it into the shop. We're going to drop the battery out and open it up. So the journey starts today. We're getting it powered up. It hasn't been powered up in about 3 weeks. We've got a new 12-volt battery in there, and we'll be pushing it in the shop here. So stay with us as we go on this. All right, finally pushed it in, getting it on the lift. We're having to push this one in backwards because of the way our shop is, but it's going to be going up in the air. We're going to be dropping the battery out of it soon, so stay tuned. All right, we got the fan on because it's hot. It's very hot in here today, but we are now starting to remove the shear plate bolts, and we're going to start unbolting the battery. You can see we got our lift table behind us, and that we're going to be sliding in under. This is like literally a 20-minute procedure to get all these bolts out and get this battery out. So we'll try to film it with another camera so you can watch. Okay, so we're right now, let me move my head, we're going to take out the 4 center bolts. These are the first bolts for the battery coming out. Okay, now the car has been lowered down onto the battery table. We have it set up with some wood blocks, and we're taking out the other 8 main bolts. So right now we've taken out a total of 12 main battery bolts, and we're putting it again on a battery table, and we'll be lowering this down here in a second. There are also 4 more bolts that we're going to take out on the shear plate that will also allow it to come out. Now, keep in mind, there is no high voltage disconnect procedure for this car. This is just disconnect the 12-volt battery and drop it out. And we're following the Tesla service procedure to do this. Okay, so we're removing the last 16 bolts. It's 8 bolts down each side of the rocker. So we're under here removing them. Again, we have the battery supported. And before this, we just took out the 2 21mm bolts at the front. So now we've taken out, I lost count, but it's a lot of bolts. But these are the last 16, and then we're going to be dropping the battery out of the car and watching the quick disconnect.
You're good.
Okay, we're out. We got the battery lowered down. This is as low as we can get it based on our racks. So we're going to lift the car off of it. We're going to push it out so we can examine it. We'll show you what we got. Okay, thanks for sticking with us. Here is the battery. It is laid out here. It's quite big. These are the quick disconnects over on this side. This is the rapid connect. So the voltage from the battery goes into the car, and you also have the communication wires. Now, our problem with this battery specifically is up there. That's called the penthouse. This is the fat portion up here, and this is a double stacked set. Look at these bolts up here. Where they're from. This is a double stacked section, and our bad section of the battery is underneath of this. So we're going to remove this cap, and we're going to get in from underneath there, and we're going to remove out that section and fix the BMS board that is bad in this battery. So that's what we're about to do. We're going to clean up all this area. Again, we found some extra bolts here. Don't know where those came from. We got some water going on top. But that's going to be the next portion to clean up. We will not be removing the battery blanket, and we will not be going into this lower portion of the battery because our fault is not in there. When we did our diagnosis originally, we were able to determine that our problem was up here. So it's less work for us overall, and it will also save the customer money. So stay with us, okay, as we get this all done. So right now we are pumping the coolant out, as you can see. This takes a while. We have our special fitting up here. There goes the air compressor. All right, so now we're starting to work on, we're going to be removing what's called the penthouse cover. So that is this brown cover on the whole battery pack. And it's secured with a bunch of 8mm Torx and safety Torx. This is the fuse cover, and this is the coolant disconnect. We just pumped the coolant out of it, which I just showed you that in that short clip there. So now I'm going to work on it. And then once we get all the bolts out, we have to slowly start picking away at all this caulk so we can peel this off. And we need to keep this intact because we have to reuse this part to reseal it when we put the battery back together. So stay with me here. All right, update. Got the penthouse off. Here, let me turn this around here. So the cover of this portion of the battery is off. We just removed the battery fuse, which is sitting down there on the end. So now we're going to start working unbolting this top pack and removing the pack. And if you see here, here's the battery fuse. It is a pyrotechnic fuse, so if you're in an accident, it will blow this fuse. There's a special way to put this back in We'll have to use a special function on our multimeter, but you can follow that later. There's plenty of procedures out there on that. But we're getting there. We're going to start removing the top module off the battery to get to the lower one. The lower one is where our problem is. Good morning. All right, back at it again with the Tesla battery repair. So we have opened up, as you can see, we have kind of fish canned this battery open so we can get back here to some wires and some connectors. But what we were able to do is hook our tool up here to the BMS on the bottom battery. I don't know if you can see that from here, but we have it plugged into the bottom module down here, and we're actually reading it. If you look, it's reporting as no good. And there's some stats on here that you can see as far as voltage goes and the millivolts, but the biggest thing on here is the difference in millivolts. Now, we believe this to have a bad sensing wire or a bad BMS. Right now, the BMS is reading correctly, so we're gonna have to get in there and see if it's the sensing wire causing us a problem. So that's gonna require us to remove this top module, remove the bottom module, and inspect these sensing wires as you can see here, but we need the one underneath. All right, so stay tuned with us on this as we pull out the top. All right, so I've removed the top module and now I'm down here, and we originally suspected that the sensing wire right here was bad. So I popped up the case and I felt all the sensing wires, and all of them are attached here on the top. Is there a potential that the sensing wires on the bottom are bad? And then the other part is I can't really see a lot of the BMS there, so I'm guessing I'm gonna have to take this out. And we were a little unsure on how to do that, but I guess we have to take out this rung here, and then that will allow us to slide it out to see the BMS a little bit better. But when we plugged the tool in, you could see that it was reporting that this is bad. I don't know if it's out. All right, I think it's time for an update on our battery rebuild here on our Model S. So we have taken out the cells, the modules out of the penthouse. Last time we were doing it was about 2 weeks ago, and we were talking about how we were going to remove it and the strategy for it. We ended up removing the top bus bars here from the front of the battery, which gave us enough room. We had to flex this out of the way. This is all live and hot right now. So we got the bad module over on the bench. So let me take it. Okay, we have the module out on the bench right now. We have it hooked up to our BMS tester, or BMB, whatever you want to call it. We have the BMB removed from the board, and we have the plastic covers off. So we've been doing a couple things here. We're trying to figure out where the board, if it's the board or the wiring. Now, our tool has told us right now that this module is good because we only have 4 megavolts worth of difference. But the minute I move this BMB, you're going to watch the millivolts shift, and this is going to spike up to a higher millivolts there. You see that? So now the battery is no good, and we have cell group 5 reporting low voltage. And if I play with this enough, if you look, that cell voltage will come back up. So what we're trying to figure out, and there it is, it just came back up. You see that on cell group 5. So we're trying to figure out if it's a bad BMB or bad wiring, and that's what we're going with right now. We've already tested the cells, and we have all of that, and we know that those are all equal and balanced. So we have bad reporting in the sensor wires or there. So that's what we're working through. And these custom printed 3D feet to hold this cell up vertically, we'll have these available on our online store. My tech Austin in here prints those up, and that's a good way to balance this for your repairs. All right, update on the battery. It has been about 2 weeks since I've had a chance to touch this. I've been spending a lot of time working on this and some other projects, but I want to give you an update of where we're at now. So we have reattached the old BMS board. What we initially thought was a bad BMS wire, this green wire, in fact, is not bad. Our problem specifically was the connector. Now, right there where that green wire and that connector goes, that was our problem. After much manipulation of this board and the wires and checking continuity and everything, we determined that it just was not getting a good connection there in the board. So we had to readjust the pin a little bit, put it back down, and this is all good to go back into the car. So next week, starting on Monday, it's Saturday today, we're gonna put the covers back on it. We're gonna install it back into the battery, put it all back together, and then next week or the following week, hopefully it'll be back in the car and running. So we'll keep you updated, but this is the progress it's been. It's been quite the journey on this. I mean, when we first started, we expected the blue BMS wire on the front side to be disconnected, but it wasn't. And then we determined that it was probably this one, and then this one wasn't disconnected, and we had this whole thing apart We reached out to some of the experts in our field that we are friends with, and this is what we came up with. So fingers crossed this is it. We feel pretty good about it because it's been testing perfect for the past week as we've been bench testing it, seeing if, humidity changes it, trying to manipulate it in different ways. So that should be the fix. So stay tuned. We'll finish this up and take you along for the ride. Reassembly day. So we got the bottom module in, checking the pack to make sure we're good. Again, 4 millivolts, a variation 5 a little bit. We've lost a little bit of voltage over time, but that will bounce back out. So on to the next module. Okay, top module is in. We're hooking up all the bus bars. Well, we actually hooked up all the bus bars. We're putting in the final mounting brackets for it. And the last thing is to hook up the BMS wires, which are right there, which are gonna go into the BMS modules. And then we're gonna drop the fuse in, and we'll go through the procedure for putting the fuse in. And then we'll close this back up and let it balance and go back into the back together now. Top half of the battery in the penthouse, bottom half in. Now remember, the bottom module is what we fixed, and we had a bad sensing wire. So we got everything stacked back up. We're about to fold the tuna can back down and seal it all up, and then it'll be back into the car on Monday. So this is it. It's been a very tedious procedure putting this all back together, and putting the battery fuse in is going to be the last part of all of this procedure. So stay with us. We're almost done with it all. Thanks for tuning in. Good morning. All right, today is the day. The battery is going back into the car. We got it all lined up here. We got it all sealed up. I know I didn't cover the sealing process. It was messy. It was, what a pain. What a pain to seal that up. But it's all sealed up. It's good to go. We're about to push it up into the car. We're just waiting on some dielectric grease to put onto our quick service tabs, which are right here. And then we got to make sure that this connector lines up perfectly. We have tape underneath of these connectors here, but that's going to be the most difficult part, making sure the BMS wires get hooked up. But we're about to start here, so stay with us, and we'll follow as it goes. Under its own power. Go forward a little bit. All right. Well, the battery's back in. We've cleared the faults, and the car is ready to drive. So we put the charger on it already. And it did take a charge, a couple percentage. So here we go. We've got some air still up in the car for parking brake. But here it is starting up. There it is going into drive. And we're moving under our own power. And that's it. So we're going to go ahead. All right. Well, wrapping up this video, we are done with the Model S. The repair went successful. We're actually charging right now. We got to put a parking brake module on here. But yeah, the repair went successful. A couple hiccups we did not film with doing it, so I'm going to walk you through all of that. The BMS W107 and F107 air has been cleared out of the car. So when we first put the battery in, we did not get the quick connects for the BMS right, and the car was not seeing the BMS, and we just had not seated it right. That's a problem that is well known. So we had to drop the pack back out. We got some guide pins. We made some guide pins to help get the battery up in there, lubricated everything with dielectric grease. Second time, battery went back up and fine. And then we were having some trouble with toolbox 3 connecting to the car. We finally were able to get that all resolved. Cleared out the W107 air through toolbox, which there's a special function to clear that. That did not fix the car initially. We had to go back through and clear the whole BMS out. And after we did that, the car was able to drive. And again, we're charging. We've moved it out of the shop. I'm just inside of it right now. But we've already called the customer, let them know the good news. The car is back together. We did not film all of it going. We were really trying to, take our time and make sure we were doing it correctly. I wasn't worried about getting it on film, but the service and the repair was successful. So we'll do a little bit of a recap at the end. I'll get in my office and I'll talk about what we did and how we did it and go through the steps of it. And if you want to have this done to your car, we can get it done now here at Hybrid and Electric Car Sales. So reach out soon and we'll have all that information at the end of the video. But thanks. All right, so closing out this video, I know it's been a long video. It's been filmed over a month to get this repair done, but I wanted to at least go over all the steps that we went through, what the code we were chasing, and how we came at this whole video, all right? So here is the step-by-step instructions that we went through, and if you want to pause the screen, and I know it might be reversed there, but just hang on, I'll read it all to you. So our air codes were the BMS W107 and the F107, which are sensing wire issues. And we've been talking about those and we showed you throughout the video. So I'm just going to take you step by step. So the first step was we got to hook up our Scan My Tesla app to the ODB port in the car, and there's a special connector you have to get, and that allows us to scan the battery BMS ahead of time to find where the bad cell is or the bad sensing wire. This data is very important because you can only get this data while the battery's still in the car. We can't extract it once the battery's out of the car. Once we found that bad section, we screenshotted it on our phone, and then we were ready to drop the battery. We dropped the battery out, purged all the coolant out, and then we were ready to open it up. Now, our bad section was in the lower part of the penthouse. The penthouse is kind of the fat section up at the top. So we removed the cover of the penthouse, and we had to remove the top section to get to our section in the bottom. Now, this is where things got kind of dicey because you're dealing with really high voltage. The battery's always alive. Even after removing the battery fuse, it's never really safe. So we had to be very careful. And then once we were able to extract the cell, so just going step by step here, we got the section of the battery onto the workbench and then started playing with it with the sensing wires. And we have a custom tool that you saw in the video where we were plugged into the BMS and we were moving the board around and moving the wires around to get it to mess up and spike on the voltage. And that's how we were able to discover it. At the end of the day, what our problem was a bad BMS harness connector onto the pin. It did not have enough bite on cell number 6. Or section number 6. So we tightened up that connection, put it together, shook it all around, made sure the connection was tight, and we felt good enough to put that section back into the battery. So this is now where the reinstallation of it happened. We have a good BMS, we have it reading good, we have a tool that we had hooked up to it that was showing that the millivolt difference was not fluctuating and the battery was balanced. We also manually checked the voltages on the cell itself to make sure that the BMS wasn't incorrectly reading any information because the capacitors are known to go bad on those also. So we got lucky there. So the next thing was putting it back together, sealing back up the battery. Seal the battery. We had to fill and bleed the coolant. Now, we didn't film a lot of this because we were kind of moving kind of quick and doing this sporadically, but we bled the coolant out of the battery. There's plenty of videos on how to do that, and then we reinstalled the battery. Now, I'll share with you the first time we put in the battery, we did not get the connector right for the BMS wire. So we had the battery up in there, and you see so many videos about making sure that connector gets there, and sure enough, we were kind of tilted. We didn't have it, and it's on a spring, so it was just wedged in there. And we hooked up our Scan My Tesla to read the BMS, and the BMS was not there. So we had to drop the pack back out. We got some alignment rods, and I talked about this just a little bit earlier, to help put the battery back in. Connector went in, talking great. We were struggling a little bit with our diagnostic tool, a toolbox last night, but everything was working this morning. And what we were able to do was, give me 1 second, I'll finish up. All right, sorry about that. Phone was ringing. We talked so much, I didn't want to cut that off. Okay, so the last section was after we got the battery back in and we made the mistake of not getting it connected. We finally got it back in. We got everything communicating. We could see the battery. We saw that our millivolt variation was within spec. Everything was looking fantastic. So we ran into some problems with Toolbox 3 trying to get it to connect. The first thing we had to do was clear out the W107 error, which is a special BMS action in Toolbox. And that ran this time around. It would not run before. We tried to just clear it before, but this time it ran, cleared it out, still didn't drive. So we're like, okay, well, let's reset the BMS. So there was another function in there where we were able to reset the BMS. And as soon as we reset the BMS, I heard those contactors drop on the car and started charging 12 volt. Everything started lighting up and away we went. We were able to put it in drive and the car pulled right away. So it was a really good repair there. So we knew that went through. We put a new 12 volt battery in the car. There's some other stuff that we need to fix on it, like it's got a bad parking brake motor. But the customer's going to get his car back later this week. We'll get it cleaned up. You know, this was about a month-long repair to do it. We wanted to make sure that we did everything correctly and we got it all back. But if you want to have this repair done, like I said, this repair for this client is right around $4,000 for it. It's pretty invasive, as you've seen, and it took a lot of manpower to get it done. But if you need to get this done, we are capable of doing these repairs here at Hybrid and Electric Car Sales. So reach out to me at 615-802-5550. You can come see me in person at 616 Bradley Court in beautiful Franklin, Tennessee, or check me out online at hybridandelectriccarsales.com. There's plenty of ways to reach out to me there. But I appreciate you sticking with us and on the video, and check out all of our other great posts. You guys have a great day, and thank you so much.